From World of Concrete 2015, I'd like to introduce you to John Whitty, who's the Vice President General Manager at Sage.
Roger, thank you for having me.
Nice to see you. We heard your message earlier, and I wanted to impart it to all the folks out there because I think you bring something important to the table. That is the fact that these people run an annual survey. And this year's survey of the construction industry has got some pretty interesting statistics to reveal. John, give us a couple of ideas of the high points of what you discovered.
Okay, great. Well, we're fortunate to have about 18,000 customers that we survey every year. So we've got a pretty good sample set that we go after. And there's some key insights. We ask them questions about the impact of the economy on their business, where they see the economy going and what factors are there. We ask them questions about technology, how do you see yourself using it, where are you making key investments and so forth. So there's maybe three high-level things that came across in the survey. One, the economy continues to improve, and the upshot from that is they're really challenged right now with getting labor to deliver on the contracts that they have. So I think the infrastructure of project managers, estimators are in place, but the labor shortage is a factor, not only for direct labor that they may hire, but certainly for subcontractors as well. So that was one key element that came out. Mm-hmm. The second was they continue to look at using technology to improve efficiency, reduce cost, and there are a set of challenges they have in that regard. One is reducing the complexity of technology and the interoperability. So oftentimes they'll have point solutions. So in the survey as an example, 63% of them use 3 or more applications, but only a third of those actually work with each other, of the various point solutions that they have. So
there's no crossover, basically.
There's no crossover.
They're all towered.
Right, they're all siloed. So imagine if you're using technology to collaborate, right, but the collaboration tools don't work together. Right. That's basically the essence of the issue. So you've got that. You have some resistance to adoption technology, but it's relatively low. So when we look at management, it's about 5% that are resistant, a little bit higher on the staff, maybe 7%, but that's a relatively low percentage when you look at you're getting traction with using technology by the rest of the organization. So I think that's a pretty good piece.
Well, one of the things I'd like to show the folks out there is the prediction on demand for the most construction in 2015, and that's here, and that's pretty well established now as the commercial, healthcare, multi and single-family residential will lead the way with. Of course, we're looking at transportation, power, and communications, which is all the infrastructure Correct. That we all need to have to operate and live nicely yep. in this country, yep. but at the bottom of the list.
It's at the bottom of the list. So when we first went into the recession back in 2008, we propped infrastructure up because we poured money into some shovel-ready jobs, right. but that kind of went away, and when the funding ended, that infrastructure work dropped to the bottom. What remains consistent is investment in healthcare, all the baby boomers like me getting older and needing healthcare. So healthcare continues to expand, commercial continues to expand, but there's a huge uptick in both single-family housing and multi-family residential building. Sure. And so that's a big area that we'll see kick up in 2015. And if you look at building starts, 2015 over 2014, they've almost doubled. So again, this just puts more pressure on the labor pool to get good labor to deliver the work. And another interesting factor is it's a barometer of, I think, confidence in the construction industry, is that what's been very top of mind when we look at the top 3 issues, winning new business has always been in the top 3.
Absolutely.
But each year since the recovery started, it's dropped down a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. So we're now at a point where they're certainly still concerned with it. It's still a top issue. Where do I win new business? But it isn't quite at the level that it was before, when you didn't know whether you could find work to keep the
And
organization
that's what we're
going.
looking at going forward.
Correct.
John Whitty, thank you very much for bringing the message from Sage, and it's a really interesting thing that's public now, was released today, and I think if you're interested at all in how your business is operating as compared to others, this is something you want to take a look at.
Roger, thank you.
Thank you, John. From World of Concrete 2015.